What's up, everyone? Welcome back to A Line in the Stars. I'm Jordan, and we are back today with the surprise build of the NX-01 Enterprise. Um, I have to say, there was a whole episode that I shot. This hasn't happened to me in a minute. Not since I was attempting to build the Flying Dutchman 3D build, where I didn't have quite storage option. For Christmas, bought myself a 4K camera, and I was pretty excited about it. It was kind of like the last step in the process for all of the things that I needed for the channel. And yeah, needless to say, the quality of the video that I shot was atrocious. It was awful. I was looking at it this morning. I was up late painting last night. Basically, the content of the last episode was me going through and individually painting. And we're going to go ahead and quickly review that before we go into the assembly for this episode. But yeah, it was the episode where I went through and I individually painted all of our pieces. And yeah, the camera just didn't work out. I was not pleased at all. I'd been saving up for this for a minute and, finally decided to pull the trigger. And then, boom. It just, the quality was awful. It was what we like to call 4K. Not 4K, not 1080. I don't know what that was. And no matter how much I messed with it, I've spent hours with it this morning trying to get it to work, and it just hasn't worked. So instead of like trying to use that image, those videos or whatever, I'm just not going to. That camera is going back. I have been toying around with the idea of doing some reviews. I shot a bit of a review video of the unboxing of the camera. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do about that one. So, anyway, moving on. We did paint all of the pieces. From the last episode, you guys saw that I had sprayed everything in the base coat color. And I went ahead and created this graphic here to kind of show you the process for, what we're going to be doing for building the models. So where we're at right now is just after step 2. Today, the plan is going to be to separate all of the parts from the sprues for the individual stages. And so that's one of the things I'm going to modify with this graphic here. And, as we go ahead and cut back to our painted pieces, we're going to be doing step 2. We're going to paint all the sprues, and then what we're going to be doing is we're going to separate all the pieces from the sprues. We're going to clean them up, and we're going to assemble the model in the stages. So it's going to be, we're going to approach the same steps and methodology for each one of the stages or steps in the model. But for this, we're going to do step 1 today, and step 1 is actually a bit of a big step. We're going to be pretty much putting together the entire main body of the Enterprise. And so, but what I wanted to do today is just kind of show some of the paint work. I've been getting much better at it. Still a little work to be desired. I've learned some things about paint. I didn't have quite all of the colors that I needed for this model. Well, I did, but I didn't have the colors in like traditional like testers paint. And so I wound up using some of my airbrush paint with regular paintbrush, and found out that thinner or that paint doesn't work with regular thinner. You have to use airbrush thinner. It was just a whole adventure last night. It was actually, I thought it was going to be a pretty cool video. I was really disappointed this morning waking up and looking at all the images, and I'm just like, oh man. So, Matt, I'm sorry. You're not going to see me painting all of the things. So let's just go ahead and quickly review kind of where I started. These are the grills for the nacelles. And I ruined a paintbrush because clear paint... Okay, so here's the thing that I learned. Clear paint, like for clear model pieces... it's a specific paint. You want to go find it. And I definitely found out the difference. But I ruined a paintbrush because I don't have acetone. Not that I'm aware of, at least. Yeah, like it's nail polish. It's nail polish. I open it up and I'm like, huh. It's nail polish. So I couldn't get the paint off of the brush, and I wasn't willing to sacrifice another brush. So I only did the blue in the clear. which is a little disappointing. The red probably would have looked a little bit better, and I'm contemplating taking the paint off of the red that I did do and doing that again. The paintbrushes are like 79 cents a piece, and so I don't know what I was thinking last night. So anyway, here are the grills for the nacelles. Here are the nacelles themselves. And, you know, I kind of followed the paint scheme that they had on the diagram. You know, we have the copper around here. These are the warp field grills, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. It's an EM field grill or something. And then the dark painting on the back. So this is the Refit Enterprise, and so we went with the Refit paint scheme. I'm going to be doing a little bit of the combination of the Refit paint scheme with the standard NX-01 kind of build. I prefer the nacelles on the regular NX-01, and so we're going to stick with that. Basically, that means that we leave these little tabs on and then don't put something else on. I just don't like the way that looks. Here's the other clear piece, and we have our engines, our impulse engines here. We have the 4 impulse engines, so the 2 small on the main saucer section, and then the very back of the very back, and then we have our deflector grill. And then here is where, you know, we have our warp field coils and different blue lights and stuff like that. These are the original Bussard collectors for the saucer, or for the nacelles. I wound up painting these ones just red, and you can see the difference. Like, it's, you know, the blue clear looks better on there. So I'm going to I'm going to sacrifice one and just go with this. This one actually has like little points kind of similar to what you would see on the Constitution class, and I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and keep it the nacelles is what you would see on the NX class. I just prefer that design. And then we have our running lights up here, and this was the only green. I wound up purchasing transparent green paint just for 2 pieces. That was great. $8. Wonderful. So then we have the top of the main body of the Enterprise. This here is the airbrush color that we're using for the Marauder build, which is kind of a cool little crossover. It was a great dark gray option. Went on really nice with the paintbrush. I was really surprised. We have our RCS thrusters. We're going to be finishing painting those up. I wasn't quite sure where they're going to be lining up because we're going to be building along the side of the saucer today. And then this is called for gold up top. It looks really, really good. There was a little bit of paint overspray right here. You know, once again, learning curve. I'm learning how to use the airbrush, and I couldn't quite see over in this corner. So one saucer section piece at a time going forward. We have the bottom of the saucer, much like the same, but I chose to go ahead and add for like right around the impulse engines and what have you. Also, any of these other grill little pieces, I've added that dark color to. And then we have our RCS. There wasn't a whole lot of paint on here other than just base color. And then some of our interior components. I'm going to be saving a lot of these pieces. You know, like, we're not using everything. The cool thing with this model is that you can choose to either go with just the NX-01 or you can go with the Refit. And you have the 2 different styles of saucer. So, you know, yeah, I guess it would be the, not saucer, but the deflector dish. And so this is the updated version. This is what we saw on the TV show. I'm going to save that. I don't know what I'm going to use it for, but eventually going to use it. Same thing for here. This little piece here is what sticks through the original deflector. This is going to be the one that we're going to use for the Modiflight one, which is pretty cool. These here go inside of the nacelles as bracing pieces, and I went ahead and painted them blue because I think they're supposed to represent like the warp field coils, and so I just kind of wanted to simulate that. Then, I mean, it's going to kind of go through here, so I'm not quite sure, you know, if it's even going to be relevant, but I wanted to be thorough with the thought process behind it. And then this really just is a bunch of base color pieces. We have our engineering section. the engineering deflector dish, and then the I believe this is the correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe when we connect this, this is going to be the shuttle bay. These are going to be the pieces that they wanted us to put on the outside of the nacelles. We're not going to do that. I just don't like the way that looks. Here we have the bottom deflector dish. So there are two deflector dishes on the NX-01 refit, which is kind of cool, actually. This is going to be the piece that sticks through the deflector dish, which actually is that piece right there. This is a bronze color. And then this is going to be the bottom of the engineering section. The paint down here, I'm not super proud about, but, you know, hey, it is what it is. I'm learning better steady hand, what have you. And then finally, this is the pieces, these are the pieces that surround the edge of the saucer and kind of build it around. I tried to paint some windows. I did kind of an awful job, and so I repainted it. I'm not going to do any window work on this model. Not steady enough of a hand just yet. Don't have the proper brush. I need to really get some nice expensive brushes. But for instance, here is one of the RCS thrusters. So that's going to get painted yellow once everything's assembled. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to start by separating out our stage one, step one, whatever we want to call it, pieces. We're going to separate them from the sprues. And then from there, we are going to go ahead and clean them up and then begin our stage one assembly. All right, we are back with most of our pieces. Actually, I think all of our pieces for stage one. And man, that was a lot of clipping, and I gotta say, that's gonna be a lot of editing. So let's go ahead and clean up all of our pieces real fast. You guys did see some separation of kind of each section there, but didn't have you guys watch the whole thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this off to the side real quick. Gonna grab my tweezers for these smaller pieces and see if it needs any work. That one's good. Using the professional nippers really helps. That one just needs a little bit of help. Oh, that one's good. Yeah, able to use the nippers as you saw to kind of clean up my edges. That one's good. That one's good. This one just needs a little bit. Go ahead and put more paint on that, like I said, later on. Focus is getting all of our parts clean and on here correctly. That one looks good. Yeah, Nevers did a really good job. We cleaned up all of those, and I think there was only just like a little piece here on the sensor dome. Well, on the impulse engine, that's going to be on the inside, but, you know, want to make sure you're being thorough with everything. That one turned out alright, pretty good. Alright, so, parts are all cleaned up. Let's keep our tweezers off there. Let's go ahead and get our glue. And I'm just going to take a risk with my little dish here that I use for cleanup, and going to use that for our glue. Just tired of little pieces of cardboard everywhere. Start with a little bit of glue. And let's go ahead and start with the very top. And actually, now that I say that, you can see here there's some burrs around the inside of the bridge. Go ahead and just clean those up real quick. All that was in there. Love it. Okay, so we are going to start. Did I pull off part number 20? I don't think I did, actually. Now that I think about it, I did not. There's part number 20 right there. I was like, wait, is that a clear part? No, it is not. Okay. Let's give this a quick little cleanup. Needs just a little bit. Because I'm in a hurry and not being careful. There we go. That one's good. Alright. So I think the approach we're going to take for glue is we're going to be going like basically underside wherever we can. Keep in mind that this is a snap model, and so we're going to be strategic in how we do this. Part in place. It requires a little bit of pushing. Gotta go the right way. Seems like every episode of my show, a piece goes flying for whatever reason. We're gonna push that down. Try not to push too hard. Don't want to break the model. There we go. The paint and that uneven surface. There we go. It's an interesting color choice for the bridge module, but sure. I'll go with it. Alright, that's in. And I gotta say, that is gonna require... God. Any glue. Just barely any. Just enough to make sure it don't go nowhere, because that is in there, my friends. That is in there for sure. And that's how we're going to approach the glue for this model. We're going to be putting it on the backside wherever it needs to be. Okay, so now let us get our... I'm going to start with part number 21. I grab part number 21. There it is. Yes, it is. Yep. And this is going to go in like so. So we're going to put a little bit of glue right in each one of these tabs, not in the one in the middle, the ones on the outside. Tweezers. Very nice. Oh, yeah. Yeah, looks good. Super pleased. Okay. So now 22B is going to slot in right on top here, which is going to be, I believe, the smaller. Is that correct? Yep, 22B. It's going to be this tiny, 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 tiny little piece. Here, I'm going to show you guys. That's just a tiny one. Yeah, super small. So now, we're going to take our glue. That's a little bit. Go around the outside here. That into place. So there's that little assembly all put in with the bridge module. Super cool. And then what we're going to do, for the sake of thoroughness, on the tabs down below here, a little bit of glue to seal it up, make sure we're all stable. Okay, so now that's all put into place. Yeah, it looks really good. Gotta say, I'm pretty pleased. Let's go ahead and drop in these little blue things here, and these are super tiny. You want to talk about tiny, tiny. Like, look how tiny. That thing is super tiny. So, we are going to take that. If I can do this. Oh man, these things are so tiny. Slot that into place, and I'm just going to use my finger to not do anything. These are super tiny. Just don't know. They gave us an extra one, which is really nice. Wow. There it goes. Cool. Yeah, that's cool. That's super tiny and janky, but oh man, I just thought I transferred that over my hands and it just disappeared. But I'm recording in daylight today. Oof. Goodness me. These are super, super, super fidgety. But once it goes in, it goes in. Oh well. Where's it not going in? Oh, it's sideways, Jordan. And as I fight. Wow. Oh, my friends. I think that one long gone. So we do have another one. Oh, hold on. Nope. Oh, wow. I cannot believe I saw that. So I'm wondering. Take my. Oh, there's a little bit of paint buildup, which is also something that I've learned. Clean up your pieces here. And I think that may have actually just been the case because that was actually quite a bit of paint. My hands are all messy too. I apologize. I know all you guys see of me is my hands, and I just got paint all over them. Yeah, I needed to clean that up a little bit. So now what we're going to do is going to take a little bit of glue from the inner side. Just go ahead and throw a little bit in there. To make sure it don't go nowhere, although I highly doubt any of that's going anywhere anytime soon. Okay. So now, I think that's everything for the top. So, there we have all of our little pieces assembled for the top of the main section. Super cool. All right, we're going to set her off to the side. And then here is kind of where a lot of the magic is going to be happening today. So, what we're going to be doing is putting a bunch of these pieces here, which are the bridge piece between the two, we're going to be putting all of them along the outside. So let's go ahead and start with that. And I think let's start up front with the deflector dish. So I got our deflector dish piece here, and we're just going to set that into place. And then we're going to take a little bit of glue, as always. Once again, this is a snap model, so we're not going to be going ham on glue. Okay, strings. And then, from there, in the front, first thing we're going to do is we're going to take these two pieces, plug them through each other. If they can. Does this go through this way? Yes, it does. Maybe. No, it does not. So, in this case, what we have is a little bit of paint overrun. So, let us go ahead and hop in the middle here and just kind of get some of that paint off. Push our piece through. Maybe. points to go through. Do a little bit of force work here. We do have a backup dish if we need it. Yeah, the paint's just a little thick. There it goes. Nice. Okay. Just had to work at pushing it through there. And take up our piece and make sure it's all nice so you can see there. Kind of getting it through. A little point there. Fix the points on that. And then this, it's going to take some glue. Let's affix the glue afterwards. So I don't want to get any of these paints to touch. So that is in. Looks pretty cool, actually. Just need to, once again, reapply some paint after everything is said and done. Glue there. That ain't going nowhere. String. And I'll take care of the strings later. Our deflector dish is installed. Need to straighten her up a little bit, but there we go. Very nice. So now, let's go ahead and start at the top. So it's going to be part number 12. And let's find number 12. It's going to be right here. And where that's going to go, we're just going to click these down into this ridge. I don't know how much putty I'm going to be applying to this model, if I'm being real. This is a bit of an experiment, and I don't have much time, so we'll see. There we go. And then number 10. That's number 10. This is number 10. I was kind of curious as I was painting to see how this process was going to work, and actually just really need to worry about getting some paint around the edges. I'm kind of surprised I didn't do that. We're not going to be using the airbrush on this model anymore. It's all going to be done by hand with a brush. Okay, then number 8. Right. So make sure I got the right piece. That is number 8. Nope. Don't put it that way, Jordan. Cool. That turned out really cool. I'm pleased. I'm actually really pleased with how this is turning out right now. Very cool. Okay. Then we have 107, which is going to be our impulse engine. And that one is going to go in like this, right? Nope, other way. That's super tiny. Nope. Still got it wrong. This piece looks like it clicks in, but it's not wanting to, so let's be specific with it. Throw it around, as I always do. I don't think I cleaned up this piece. No, I did not. I'll explain that. Make sure it's going this the correct way. internal piece as well here. Lessons learned? Lessons learned? Not gonna see this piece. I don't care how that looks. Oh, wrong way again. Yeah, that was better. It needed, goodness me, Jordan. Just needed to be cleaned up. So, before we go too much further, goodness. And this one isn't quite like as happy to sit, so I'm gonna add a little bit of glue around the outside there. Take our tweezers. I imagine that when I snap the model together, put together the top and the bottom pieces, that don't have to worry about that, but still, yeah. Okay, so we have number 6. 6 right here. That one I'm going to be careful with as we just put the impulse engine down and glued it. Tab piece here. What's interesting is these weren't on a tree, they were just out and about. Oot in the boot, as my Canadian friends would say. So, it's a little messy from the factory. I might start on the back for the next one, for the next side. Because right next to here, there we go. Now it's in. Are you sad, Connor? Sorry. Intrusive thoughts. Okay. So now, okay. Oh no. I forgot something here, and hopefully I have some forgiveness here. There it is. So I need to put in my indicator, which is going to be red for port. And I didn't put those on the other side either. So let us quickly get this done. The smaller one goes into the back. Okay. I'm gonna have to take this piece off completely real fast. These won't need to be glued in because they're going to be cinched in, which is good. Let's quickly get that back on. And if y'all didn't know, Star Trek follows maritime law. So, red will always be on the port side of the ship. Green will always be on starboard. Okay. There we are. So let's not forget our green piece here on the other side before we move on. And those turned out pretty cool. Nice. Sweet. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to finishing this bad boy up. So now we're going to go to part number 4, which is going to be this one right here. And this one goes how? Slip down to the outside just like this. Right into place. Some of that lemon squeezy. There we are. Okay. So now let's go ahead and do 5. Maybe this one right here, and we're going to slip down. Seems like there's only one way to put these on. Each one of the tabs is smaller than the other one, which is cool. There we go. That clicks into place. So yeah, kind of takes the dumb out of it, but this is me. Now we're going to grab our other, I'm assuming this one here. I'm assuming to get in the right direction. Wow, Jordan. I'm going to leave the impulse engine for last, as that was a bit of a jank factory. I want to try to move on real quick. And we're going to take part number 9, which is you, I believe, right? It is. There we go. And these strings, they're everywhere. I ordered a new mat today, but I'm not having Amazon ship it anytime soon. Like, I'm not worried about it. Like, God, Christmas. Recording this on December 23rd, and I gotta go to the store later. I'm not happy. So, yeah. Okay, it's a little. The right underneath, I think I need to sand down a little bit more here. Yeah, definitely need to sand that down. It's preventing it from seating properly. There we go, much better. More glue. Yeah, I gotta go to the store. I'm not pleased, but yeah, gotta do it. Not going anywhere for the next couple days after that. Staying home. Building models. Spending time with my girlfriend. Best way to spend it. Okay, so looks like we got. I wonder what these two pieces are. Okay. Glue on there. Glue on there. Very nice. Our ring is complete along the outside, which is super cool. Now we have parts numbers 15 and 16. And I don't think they're actually part of this 14 and 15. Looking at my screen here right now, and I'm not seeing 14 and 15, so we're going to set these off to the side and not lose them. So now, yeah, there's a little bit left on that tree, and I'm kind of curious. Let's go ahead and get our final impulse engine put into place here for today. Episode's running a bit long, but you know, hey, model building. It's going to be edited down for sure. There was like a whole 15-minute section there where I was just cutting sprues. Okay. It's the right way. It's alright, Jordan. Clean up the inside. Make sure I'm getting the right direction here. There we go. Yeah, remember, Jordan, clean up your bits. Just make sure you get a little on the outside there just to seal it in. Okay, we're getting close towards getting the saucer put together and being done for the day. A very long episode today. Appreciate you guys' time for watching. So now we're going to take part number 3 here and do these. Do I actually keep those? No, I don't. I don't know why I kept that. It's like, that's a really weird. Is that an internal piece? It's specifically this. I don't know. I don't know. That one will fly back in the day. Or flown back in the day, excuse me. What I'm noticing with the new models is they're a little cheaper than they used to be. That makes sense, but it's disappointing to see. Okay, so now facing out, and that looks like it's about the right direction there. Go ahead and take this piece. That tab's there. This tab's here. Possibly. There's no paint, so I got some. Wow. Yeah, stuff like this would not have flown back in the day. Okay. So let's try that again. One side down. There we go. Oh man, don't need to glue that, but I'm going to, just for the sake of quality and thoroughness. But man, that is on there for sure. Okay, so now from underneath, we're going to take a little bit of glue here. I'm going to put that right into that spot. We're going to go part 22 here. Push it down and in. It's curious. Doesn't go all the way in. But we'll see. Okay, I will leave that as such. Not quite sure. Very, very interesting. Alright, so now we're going to take the sensor down. I'm going to go ahead and plug it into place. Clean up our edges. That was the incorrect one. Get our sensor dome plugged in. Wow. Did I have that much overspray? I don't think so. Cleaned up. Let's go ahead and clean this up a little bit more. And I think that was going to be the key. Clean this up just a little bit more, maybe. Yeah, clean that up just a little bit more. And that wasn't overspray, that was the model. There's a lot of extra plastic right there. There we go. That one right in. There we go. All right, we're back. And I just ran into the issue that prompted me to want to buy a 4K camera. And that was I ran out of storage space on my phone. I've got about 42 gigs, which is not bad, but when we're shooting at 4K at 60 frames, it winds up only being about an hour's worth of material, basically, recording time. And definitely recorded for over an hour there. I didn't realize that. And so, yeah, I kind of ran into that issue. And so while I was waiting for the data to offload onto the computer and so I can make some room, I went ahead and decided to go ahead and complete step number 2 as well, because I want to go ahead and put the saucer together and have it all ready to go, and can't do that until step number 2 is done. And then when we were doing right as I ran out of memory, is we went ahead and installed the port side markers there. So there we go. So now let's go ahead and move on to step number 2 here. It's a pretty quick and easy step. In essence, we've almost completed the entirety of the NX-01. The difference is there would be a little center section here, whereas we're going to be leaving that blank for now because we're going to be building the engineering section in the next episode. So let's go ahead and start by inserting our impulse engines. And so let's see here, which is the right one. Going to be here, right? Right? And did do some cleanup work. I went ahead and separated everything and cleaned it all up. And my glue is definitely dried by now. It takes about, computer's fast, phone's fast. It takes about 30 minutes or so to offload about 40 gigs onto the computer. The whole point of the 4K camera was so that I can record up to 200 gigs worth of stuff and then offload it, but that's not going to happen. So, not for now at least. I'm going to save up some money and get a proper 4K camera. So, that's just what that's going to be. I've learned my lesson. Absolutely. Spend the money. Wait. My phone is just fine. So. Probably talked about in the beginning about upgrading the phone. And that's still a possibility, although it's working just fine. This wouldn't have a whole lot of space, and it's not expandable memory, unfortunately, these days. So, okay. This tab is being a bit of a pain. There we are. There we go. Clicked into place. Although, I only have 128 gigs on my phone, you know, these days about 80, 90 gigs is what you need for 70, 80, 90, somewhere in that neighborhood is what you need just to run all your apps and everything like that. So, yeah, I don't know. Okay. So now we're going to take part number 46 here, and we're going to plug it in right into place. Do I have that backwards? I think I do. Yep. So those click right into place right here. That one needs to get pushed in. There we go. Now they're nice and seated into place. Let's get the other one. I didn't glue that one. It'll be fine. We will glue this one, however. Got a little ahead of myself on that one. So, take that piece. Click it into place. Nice. And then finally, before we put the pieces all together here, we have part number 14, and that's going to go here on the starboard side. It's going to click right here. Very nice. And then part number 15, it's going to go right here. So now, glue up these last couple pieces, and we'll be ready to basically assemble the main part of the NX-01. If I wanted to finish now, I could. It wouldn't be very difficult. But I really love the idea of doing the refit. Seeing it, looking at it, knowing that Matt's going to sit there and look at it. It's going to make me happy. So, this piece. Did I get that backwards? Yes, I did. I put them in upside down. Wow, Jordan. Wow. That's why we don't glue first right now. There's supposed to be a little bit of a gap there. It looks like it, so. Okay. It's like that and that. Now we add our glue to our little tabs. And back to the phone subject real quick. Yeah, I mean, my phone's a couple years old now. I mean, it's an S21, we're fine, but 128 gigs, I think 256 would be better. That way I can just kind of record for a while and not worry about it. Now I'm seeing up here a little bit of a cleanup on our tabs that are connection points. Make sure we're trying to connect with a weird spot. Okay, so now we are all ready to assemble. So we are going to add glue to each one. We have tabs that go. Those come up through the bottom. Yes, okay. So each one of the tabs that stick up here on the ventral side of the ship, we get a layer of glue. Is this the... I was looking at that, I'm like, is that one? No, it is not. That's where we are going to connect the engineering section to. This will be a pretty cool little milestone here. Getting this done. Cool. So now, I don't know. Nope, those are where the nacelles are going to attach to. So now let's very carefully line the top one up here. Line the top one, why don't we line up the back one here, Jordan? There we are. Back one, back one. Oh, I see. This is actually more difficult than I thought it was going to be. Like, yeah, I thought it was going to be super simple. I'll just go ahead and connect these, but... Nope. That one? Nope. Wow. Actually kind of challenging. There we go. And ultimately that was handled by aligning my pieces up properly. Oh yeah. So it's going to require a little bit of glue around the edges and definitely some putty. I didn't think that I was going to need too much, but there's going to be a little bit. But back here around. So we got to get... Oh, that just clicked right into place. Very nice. And I'm going to take putty and go along the seams here. But, my friends, oh, we have finally reached the end of a very long episode. So, here we are. We have the main saucer section and the main section of the NX-01 complete, minus a little bit of putty action. So we're going to be assembling the engineering section and the nacelles in the next episode, and then we're going to assemble them all together, and then we're going to be looking at moving on to the next phase. So if you guys have any questions or comments, tips or tricks, please leave them down below. I kind of struggled with some things here. I see that I need to apply some paint there. That's very interesting. I didn't see that. Anyway, I really struggled in this episode with a couple of things. And so if you guys have any tips or tricks, please let me know. If you'd like to support the channel, please like and subscribe. And I'd really like to thank you so much for watching today. I know there's a million things you could be doing, and instead you chose to spend a couple minutes watching me build a model and struggle through some things. Definitely want to say thank you. Hope you all have a wonderful day in this beautiful world, wherever you happen to be. And until we see each other again, remember, revenge is a dish best served cold.